There is some very good news to report regarding former President Jimmy Carter. The 91-year-old said yesterday that he is cancer-free.
Carter made the surprise announcement at a Georgia church where he teaches Sunday school. In August, he started treatment for melanoma that had spread from his liver to his brain. And with us now with more is ABC's medical editor, Dan Childs. Dan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Now tell us, what do we know about President Carter? Is he really in remission?
Well, what we know is that this is very good news. The fact that it looks like this treatment is helping him. However, doctors wouldn't use the word remission yet. Usually someone needs to be, as he says, cancer-free for a very long time before doctors could conclude, hey, maybe we've beaten this back. Maybe we've really eliminated cancer from his system. So there's a long ways to go before we get there. But again, this is really good news.
Dan, it's been referred to as an experimental drug. It's not that experimental, is it? It's been approved by the FDA, for example.
That is correct. In 2014, it was approved for melanoma, as well as certain types of lung cancer. But they're still studying it for other types of cancer. There's a possibility that maybe in the future this drug could be used for any number of cancers. And it really is an interesting addition to the arsenal that doctors have against cancer.
If you're watching this and you know someone who's got a similar condition, is this a time to be excited? Should you be excited by this news, or would you caution against that?
Well, Richard, really it's both things. You really would take some hope in this because it shows that there is a drug here that could be better than what has been available before. Yeah. But you also need to know that, here we have this drug that's being used in very late-stage cancer patients. Sure, it might work for one person. It may not work quite as well for another person. So there's a lot of study that needs to happen. But it is something that's hopeful, and it's something that doctors are really keeping their fingers crossed on.
And Dan, the thing about President Carter is he is so determined. He's always been positive, and faith is a huge part of his life. Are there any medical studies about the influence of positive attitude and faith-based approach to your diagnosis that makes a difference?
Well, the studies on this are few and far between, and they're very inconclusive. We don't know, for example, whether having a strong faith or having a very positive outlook really affects your cancer in any sort of direct way. What we do know is that people who respond to these sorts of situations positively, they tend to have better outcomes. If you have a good outlook, it may help you in other aspects of your life that also contribute to how well you fight off this cancer. So it's certainly not a bad thing.
He has a good outlook, right?
He's such a positive person.
He's had one of the best out-of-office careers of any president.
You're right. You're right. In fact, I think he even admitted it when he was speaking to George Stephanopoulos, that he felt that his career after leaving office was probably
better than the one he had in the office.
Yeah. Thank you so much. ABC's medical editor, Dan Childs, thanks for joining us this morning, Dan.
Thank you.